Tajuk yang diberikan kepada saya adalah ultrasound filter of common pelvic pathology. I hope in this presentation we can basically give you some idea what are the things that we have to look at when doing the pelvic ultrasound. So the first pertamanya, before kita dah mula, kita kena ingat bahawa dia punya, when we do ultrasound scan of the pelvis, sama macam we are looking masa dekat tak nak maghrib during the dusk period. So where everything nampak black and white, sometimes yang ada colour pun Doppler saja, bukan? So far tak ada lagi ultrasound yang boleh kita bubuh dia kat situ, dia terus keluar macam 3D picture and also give you diagnosis. So you still need to have the human to interpret the image. So kalau kita tak tahu apa-apa, then it will be very difficult for us to interpret whether it is normal or not normal. Like what Dr. Mazni stressed up in her lecture just now, you need to have the history and examination first. So before we go further, then we recap a few slides to what Dr. Mazni has been saying. So before kita boleh interpret what is abnormal, kita kena tahu apa itu normal. Tanpa kita tahu what is a normal pelvis, kita tak akan boleh diagnose what is abnormal. Macam mana nak tunjuk kan? Oh, tengah. Okay. So orang tua dia tak tahu teknologi. Number one, this slide Dr. Mazni has shown you before. Abdominal scan, then you can see the vagina, cervix, uterus. When you see the black and white image, you try to make up the anatomical structure. The cervix, the size might be different depending on the age of the patient. If you have the infantile uterus atau pre-pubertal patient, then you can see the cervix is bigger, the body part of the uterus is smaller. So when the women grow older, then the body will become bigger, then you can give you this kind of dark picture. Then bear in mind, first we look at the outline of the uterus. It should be smooth. Sometimes there's a small myoma, will have some irregularity here, so which may tell it towards the some small subserosal leiomyoma. Then look at imagine the size of the uterus. It can be described subjectively. I don't describe normal size, bulky, enlarged. Usually the bulky refers to when an expected size between 8 to 10 weeks of the gestation. Enlarged is more than that. Cuma kadang-kadang ada uterus 24 week size, scan uterus bulky, so we tak berapa kena lah kan. So in terms of inference, or preferably you go a more objective way of describing the size of the uterus based on the anterior posterior diameter, normally between 3 to 5 cm roughly, and the length between the in a reproductive age group between 6 to 10 cm. So that is the proper way of the describing the size. Then look at the endometrial thickness. But Dr. Mazni has told you before, if you summarize in this slide by Dr. Mazni, if you got postmenopausal lady, you do ultrasound, the endometrial thickness should be less than 5 mm. Pre-menopause, there will varies between the phases of the menstrual cycle, 5 to 7 mm in proliferative phase, pre-ovulatory up to about 11 mm, and secretory phase between 11 to 14 mm. So then barulah kita pergi kepada detecting any anatomical anomaly. Boleh tak? Abdominal scan, this slide ada dalam picture. This basically give you kalau tengok probe dia macam ni tu, biasanya TVS scan. TVS scans usually dia punya frekuensi dia higher. Kalau kita tengok siapa yang pergi ke klinik yesterday, you can notice that dia punya now if you apply the form 4 punya, I think dulu form 4 lah kot, the basics dia punya physics principle, which is the ultrasound wave, dia ada frekuensi dia kan, measure in hertz kan. So the higher frequency ultrasound wave, the sound wave will travel lagi jauh ke lagi dekat? Wah, fizik lagi dekat, kan? So lagi rendah dia punya ultrasound wave, dia travel lagi jauh. So kalau in vaginal ultrasound, the range between 5 hingga 8 MHz, kan? Kita tengok. So nowadays most of the probe is multi-frequency, so you can change. Sama juga abdominal scan, abdominal probe pun sekarang ni kebanyakannya adalah multi-frequency, at least 2 frekuensi. Kalau kat bilik saya 51 tu 3.75 dengan 2.75. So applying that basic principle, you got obese patient, you kena pakai, kalau you do abdominal scan, you kena pakai higher frequency ke lower frequency? Lower frequency. Then barulah sound wave dia travel lagi jauh. So kalau TBS, because of dia punya higher frequency, dia image expected to be clearer. So then sama juga, imagine dia punya normal structure dia before we recognize what is abnormal. So then bila kita turn the probe dia anti-clockwise, the right side of the screen will become right side of the patient, left side of the screen become left side of the patient. You turn terbalik, sekali kita jadi confused, kan? Because the left side akan jadi right side jadi left side. So sama juga ovary, uterus in the axial view, then tengok dia punya ovary normally size dia between pre-menopause about 3.5 cm, post-menopause is smaller than that. Then bear in mind, some normal ultrasound can have a cyst, kita panggil functional cyst ataupun also known as a physiological cyst. Physiological cyst can be follicular cyst, before dia ovulate keluar benih kita panggil follicular cyst. Kalau lepas dia keluar benih, the cyst in the ovary kita panggil corpus luteum cyst. So sometimes you got a theca lutein cyst. So dia punya can be seen during follicular phase, secretory phase, but usually this physiological cyst is unilocular cyst. Dia satu locule sahaja. The size dia usually is 5 cm or less, or occasionally can go a bit bigger up to 7 mm, and but most importantly it is simple cyst. So this cyst could be still a normal finding in a normal pelvic scan, depending on the what phases of menstrual cycle that you doing, kan? Tapi you should not have this in a post-menopausal lady. Post-menopausal tak ada lah, kan? For example, this is the one, kan? You see dia punya unilocular cyst, size 3.5 times 1.7 mm, simple looking. So what could it be? Most likely it will be a functional cyst. So nak buat macam mana? Sama ada call patient back when they have a menstrual cycle, they want to define a menstrual cycle where you expect dia punya normal functional cyst akan resolve, ataupun call back sometime 2 to 3 months and repeat scan lah. It should be disappear. This is another normal physiological cyst, commonly seen masa mana? Sama ada IVF, zaman-zaman sekarang IVF, zaman-zaman dulu molar pregnancy, kita panggil theca lutein cyst. Boleh nampak sebiji macam ni, kan? Because of stimulated excessively by beta hCG, kan? Itu kita panggil theca lutein cyst. So number one, we go for scan, kita tengok what's the indication. That's the first thing we do. Apa indication? Scan, kan? Because based on that indication, kita dah ada differential diagnosis, kita ada provisional diagnosis. Apa differential diagnosis kita, kan? So barulah kita perform a scan, then ask ourselves, is the scan findings normal? Kalau abnormal, apa sonography abnormality dia? Then, which organ of origin? Does it need urgent reassessment or referral? So, whether it's benign or malignant, and at the end of the day, what could be a pathological diagnosis? We look at the uterus. Commonly, abnormal finding in the uterus, usually the endometrial abnormality, uterine leiomyoma, adenomyosis. Kan, ovary, I think you all know, can be a cyst or tumor. Functional ovarian cyst, benign cyst or tumor, malignant cyst or tumor. Or outside the uterus and ovary can be abscess, anomaly of the uterus, or occasionally you got retroperitoneal mass, pelvic kidney or pelvic tumor, or sometimes enlarged lymph. So that's among the common things that we see in the pelvis. So then this is not CRF, sorry, we just use function CRF to measure. So if you look at what is the first thing you notice bila you tengok dia punya sonographic picture? Apa dia tu? Any answer? Saya ambil yang ni, boleh pakai tak? Play lah. Boleh pakai jauh. Kita notice apa bila kita tengok itu? Normal ke tak normal? Normal, tapi terbalik. That's the first thing. So the reason is because bila kita twist terbalik, then orientation kita terbalik, image pun terbalik. Kadang-kadang kita pun jadi tengok interpret kan. So but otherwise is it normal, the bladder, the uterus, endometrium look normal, cervix look normal at the glance. Okay. Oh, sorry. So if you look at this one, the endometrium is, if you get the history, for example, is a 44-year-old lady, obese, irregular menses, EP the 16 millimeter. So normal or not normal? Could be normal, could be not normal, kan? So, but it is a. Should you do anything further? 44 years old, obese. So then you should assess the endometrium to exclude the CA or precancerous lesion. Okay? So by doing the endometrial biopsy. So this is the Our Lady, for example. She's that's why the important how the history. 28-year-old obese. Medical staff, what is irregular menses. When you look at her endometrial thickness here, even though a very young patient, is about 20 millimeter. Normal? Not normal, kan? Tapi muda, 28. So then you need to realize of this. So this patient finally diagnosed to have basically the complex endometrial hyperplasia with APPR, which is a precancerous lesion. Yeah, that's why we want to stress you must know what is normal. If you don't know what is normal, then it's very difficult to diagnose what is abnormal. This is another patient. You got the, so slightly different. You have vagina scan. You can see this a vagina scan, cervix, the uterus. Then you can see vagina scan. You can see a bit clearer than abdominal scan. You see the endometrium is quite thin, but there is some island inside the myometrium. Okay. So if you get back the history, she's basically 28, overweight, endometrial adenomyosis. I think a year before diagnosed to have endometrial adenocarcinoma endometrium, 1B, then but refused for surgical treatment, treated with high dose progesterone for about a year. Endometrium become thin out, but the one inside the myometrium remains there. We are not sure scarring or active lesion. We are monitoring that. Other endometrial abnormality, we look in summary. Sometimes you have endometritis, can be atrophic endometritis or infective endometritis. Okay. In the last 2 years, I think we got few cases out there. Extrapulmonary tuberculosis involving the peritoneum, and one of them has a concomitant endometrial tuberculosis. Okay. So or you can have a polyp. Sometimes polyp difficult to differentiate. Sometimes we have to push the cell line inside the endometrial cavity and do ultrasound to delineate the lesion. Or hyperplasia, or worse, hyperplasia with atypia, ataupun nowadays also known as endometrial intraepithelial neoplasia or endometrial cancer. Because nowadays usually the endometrial hyperplasia is considered disease of, last time is a post-menopausal individual, but now no longer seen that way, because quite often now we see young patients with endometrial hyperplasia or endometrial cancer. I think the youngest that we have currently about 14 years old, just came in with the abnormal menses, and then the only thing is that endometrial thickness is very thick, about more than 20 millimeter. So pay attention to the endometrium bila kita buat ultrasound scan. We look at the fibroid. Basically is the if we look at normality of the uterine myometrium, then we ask ourselves, is mass arising from the uterus? If yes, what are the size, location, either single, multiple, well circumscribed, atau the whole wall of the uterus is globally enlarged. So what is the likely pathology, and then at the end of the day, whether it is likely benign or malignant. So the fibroid, also known as leiomyoma, fibromyoma, kan? Ataupun layman term commonly known as the fibroid. So by the name, the fibromyoma, that means it had two components. One is a fibrous tissue component, the other one will be smooth muscle component. So fibrous component will appear hypoechoic on scan, but the smooth muscle component will appear hypoechoic on scan. So therefore, on ultrasound, uterine fibroid will give you a variable ultrasound appearance depending on the which component is predominant. So if it is a fibrous component predominant, it will appear hypoechoic. If it is the smooth muscle component, so you can put hypoechoic rather than hypoechoic this part because of the component. So frequently well circumscribed, well terlihat, okay? And which is can be distinguished from normal myometrium. Kita nampak dia punya bulat elok, kan? Can be hyper or hypoechoic. Malignant transformation is rare, especially during the reproductive age. So the malignant transformation of the leiomyoma usually commonly occur after postmenopausal. The bigger the size of leiomyoma, the risk is higher. Having said that, then we still have the young patient which had the malignant transformation. I think the youngest that we have malignant transformation of fibroid, I think as far as I can remember, here in SSB is 24 years old. Again, about 6 years ago. that patient come with, everybody thought it is a leiomyoma, had a myomectomy, so HPE came back as it malignant transformation. So fibroid is the most common solid tumor diagnosed in at this age. Years. I always say to my patient, a lot of them will be very anxious when was told to have a fibroid. I think we have to tell the patient that it's very common to have the uterine fibroid. If you go to Pasar Malam and get 100 women randomly, scan every one of them, then you will find 20 to 30% of them will have a fibroid. But 80% of them will be small and asymptomatic. You don't need to do anything. Unless you bleed or cause a problem, then barulah kita intervene. So, for example, in a submucosal fibroid, it causes a distortion of the uterine cavity, causing an abnormal bleeding. This kind of submucosal fibroid. So the fibroid also demonstrates hormonal sensitivity. So that's a theoretical fact that we need to know. It grows rapidly during the hormonal stimulation. For example, during pregnancy, because pregnancy is still a lot of hormone stimulation, ovulation induction, and hormonal contraception. But in current era, I think for me, I see fibroid stimulated by supplement is more common than fibroid stimulated by COCP. Theoretically, a COCP hormonal contraception, you expect about 15-20% of fibroid is stimulated by hormonal contraception. Okay, so that's why it's not a absolute contraindication to give patient hormonal contraception if they have concomitant uterine fibroid. But nowadays, because of everybody, orang takut tua je dah. Orang takut tua, orang takut kulit kedut. So you got so many collagen, so many product in the market which I think can treat the can bring moon and sun down. So then you can see now, I think I see more common of the fibroid that quickly grows stimulated by certain form of supplement rather than hormonal contraception. Sometimes the pedunculated uterine fibroid, it is quite difficult to differentiate between solid ovarian tumor. So because of the location of it is you can see on scan, you can see the normal nice uterus, but there is a mass at the vicinity of the uterus. So this is the thing that we need to bear in mind. On a scan, sometimes you can see the uterus kan, TBS scan. So my picture not very good. So because ultrasound in my room is a video brain ultrasound, not very good one. Not like Datuk Baba punya. Datuk Baba dia kalau keretanya dia BMW 7 series lah. Saya punya Proton Saga. So retrieve image pun quite difficult, so you have to put a photo on the screen. So what you can see is basically endometrium is a hyper mid echogenicity hyper, some part is a hypoequic at the extending the endometrial cavity. So that is the typical example of the submucosal leiomyoma on fibroid. This is another one. You got a bladder here, okay? So then you can see the well circumscribed the mixed echogenicity hypoequic. Some part is hyperequic within the myometrial cavity, which is the typical of leiomyoma. But all the image is not very good, right? Probably Datuk beli scan baru untuk saya apa. So this is another example of this. So this one, siapa boleh describe? Cari kan? atas tau.
Circumscribed mixed echogenicity lesion in the uterus. Could be a fibroid or CA.
Good. So this slide is basically to illustrate how important is the history. So you cannot interpret the scan finding solely based on the image. So this patient basically had the prior molar pregnancy and then developed invasive mole, treated with the chemotherapy. So subsequently you can see this ill-defined mixed echogenicity within the myometrium, which is consistent with invasive mole. So at one glance nampak macam fibroid kan? If you know the history, then nampak macam fibroid. So that's why this slide I put up to illustrate. I do expect dia tanya saya how the history of this man. Oh, tapi tak mau tanya kat apa. So that is important of the history. Adenomyosis basically is the involve women in the reproductive age group. Anak ramai biasanya kan, high parity, it may come with abnormal menstruation, especially menorrhagia, may have this secondary dysmenorrhea or dyspareunia, may involve the whole uterus or focal, either in the anterior or posterior wall of the uterus. If you look at the comparison between fibroid, you can wear encapsulator, you can remove, detach the fibroid where you see the uterus of the women with adenomyosis. The whole wall is basically globularly enlarged, and because certain part is where the active ectopic endometrial tissue kan dalam dia. So because basically adenomyosis is an ectopic endometrial tissue within the myometrium. So dia sama macam sepupu dengan endometriosis kan. So ultrasound finding usually not characterized, often mistaken with fibroid. So ultrasound finding can be mistaken with leiomyoma. So that's why when sometimes we have to explain to the patient, we think it's a fibroid, but it could still be the adenomyosis. So then on the ultrasound, we tengok apa? This is the whole thing is a uterus. Gambar tak belok lah. So but it is a enlarged uterus, and you can see the whole posterior wall of the uterus is enlarged daripada sini sampai endometrium sampai ke bawah. So big compared to anterior wall. Anterior wall is very thin, but posterior wall is very thick. One of the characteristics of the adenomyosis, you can see dia punya hypoechoic ray below, nampak tak ni? Dia sama macam kalau kita scan on the kidney untuk kita tengok stone kan, dia ada shadow. Pasal apa? Because of the ectopic endometrium inside the myometrium will bleed together during menstruation. So that bleeding, the blood that accumulate inside, akhirnya akan jadi apa? Calcium soap. Calcium soap kan? Calcium soap calcified. When it become calcified, then they will cause this ultrasound ray. So that's few things that is quite common for fibroid. Sama juga this one. This one sama, focal adenomyosis and posterior. Anterior wall you can see endometrium. Anterior wall is thin, posterior wall is thick, and it is not well circumscribed. We move to adnexal mass. Adnexal can be a functional ovarian cyst, endometrioma, commonly seen decallutin cyst, benign or malignant tumor, or this sometimes a metastatic tumor to the ovary. So extra ovarian mass, sometimes ectopic pregnancy, fallopian tumor, less common hydrosalping, abscess, addition pseudocyst, lymphocyst, pelvic, or sometimes pelvic hematoma. So if it is the ovarian cyst, yes, we think ovarian cyst, then we think whether unilateral or bilateral. What are the size? Whether simple or complex cyst, likely benign or malignant. So if it is the, at the end of the day, what type of ovarian cyst we think it could be. So if we don't think it's coming from the ovary, so what are the likely origin of the mass? So in ovarian cyst, at the end of the day, we need to document whether it's a unilateral or bilateral, unilocular or multilocular, thin, absent, septation, solid area, papillary projection, ascites. Then we must answer whether it could be simple ovarian cyst or complex ovarian cyst. Complex ovarian cyst we need to refer. Kalau simple ovarian cyst, sometimes you want to observe first, then it is possible to do that. So this is a criteria. Kalau complex ovarian cyst can be unilateral or bilateral, can also be unilocular or multilocular. We got sometimes got thick septation, solid area, papillary projection, and occasionally may have the ascites within it. One other example, 28-year-old lady, single, referred for ovarian cyst, asymptomatic. So you can see on basically the coronal view, uterus, and some hypoequic unilocular cystic lesion on the left side of the adnexa, measuring 6.3 by 3.8 centimeter. So simple, complex. Simple. What it could be? Can still be functional cyst or not? Can, isn't it? Even though functional cyst usually less than 5 cm, but occasionally can go up to 7 mm. She's asymptomatic, 28-year-old. Then nampak apa kat dia? If you are in district ke, if you are in the pusat kesihatan ke. Kalau saya main kat saya pun saya suruh observe dulu. Main balik 3 bulan, kita scan balik tengok, kan? If it is the cyst persist, then barulah kita diagnose persistent ovarian cyst, then you can advise her for surgical intervention. So if it is disappear, then the diagnosis would be functional ovarian cyst. So apa dia tu? No need any form of surgical intervention. So if patient ask you, doktor boleh bagi apa-apa tak? Mau bagi cepat sikit lah, saya takut lah dah. You talk about, you want to exclude the functional ovarian cyst, you want to nak bagi apa? Combine oral contraceptive pill, isn't it? You give COCP, short course of COCP, then because COCP will cause regression of functional ovarian cyst. If it regress with COCP, then you know that this is a functional ovarian cyst. If you do not regress, then it is the non-functional ovarian cyst. Then you refer. Kan? So lepas tu lagi, kalau you tak tahu, what you do, refer to Dr. Mazni. Tengok patient kata saya tak mau pergi jauh tu, saya ambil produk A. Lepas mai kat Dr. Mazni 3 bulan lagi tak ada. Tak lagi keluar kat Facebook. Satu evidence testimoni, produk A menyebabkan cure ovarian cyst, yang semua ovarian cyst boleh rawat. So that is usually what happen, kan? So remember, it could still be a functional ovarian cyst. This one is unilocular ovarian cyst, ada small thickening at the behind, what do you notice here? A lot of speckle. Kan? So boleh nampak tak belakang? A lot of speckle appearance dalam dia. Basically is look the simple ovarian cyst with a lot of speckle within. So this lady actually had the endometriosis. Kan? So this lady was referred to have abdominal mass in pregnancy. So bila you tengok situ, nampak obvious tak? Tak obvious ni. Oh, this one dia tengok. Uterus, nampak pregnancy baby here. And tapi this one is a shadow, tak nampak. Not obvious. So nampak apa? TBS. Kan? TBS will give you a better picture to assess it. But this one can be apa dia? Deep-seated ovarian cyst. Particularly tengok dia punya ada classification ni, particularly teratoma. Kan? Ataupun sometimes apa tu? Tak berak lagi. Kan? Main pagi nak buat scan, tak tahan berak lagi. Tak tahan berak. So, boleh nampak stool. Common you nampak this kind of thing inside the rectum give a false appearance of mass behind. So kita suruh tu tak kaki berak dulu lah, mau nak scan kan. So buat DBS, then can give you clearer picture. If still in doubt, nampak apa? Send for MRI. Kan? So that will see clearer. But this one is, you can see one mass here, there is another mass on the other side of the ovary, which is typical of teratoma. So this patient basically had the bilateral teratoma in pregnancy. Same patient as this one. If you look closely outside the uterus, they have the bilateral ovarian cyst. Look simple, but there is a thickening inside. The capsule look appear thickened with adenomyosis. This is ini pakai apa? Kissing ovary kan? Ovary kissing each other, the cyst. So this is a spot diagnosis will be nulliparous, chronic pelvic pain, menorrhagia, secondary dysmenorrhea. Endometriosis with adenomyosis. Kan? So this lady basically is a 38-year-old nulliparous. I think a long time ago I saw her. Came in with abdominal pain, but she got the preceding history of endometriosis some years before and was operated because of that. Now you can see dia punya uterus tak nampak, but you can see easy cystic lesion in the pelvis, pelvic scan, cystic lesion in the pelvis with the solid area with it. CA125-500. So dia punya diagnosis simple or complex ovarian cyst? Complex ovarian cyst. Need referral? Yes, urgent. So because of suspicious of malignant ovarian cyst. Kan? So that patient basically had the clear CCA of the ovary, probably easy arising from the endometriosis. Kan? This is another example of the ovarian cyst where you got the cyst in the ovary with a lot of solid area within. So this is a papillary projection, but this a lot of solid area. So you look this kind of appearance. So definitely it is not the simple ovarian cyst. This is another example. So you have the solid cystic bladder, solid cystic tumor, okay, the solid area, cystic area, lot of the papillary projection, okay, at the base. So that is another example of not good looking picture that you wanted to see. So that is indicate you need to refer urgently. Kan? So this is another example. Yeah? So you have 55-year-old lady para for came in referred for abdominal distension, but previously diagnosed to have the ductal CA of the breast. So dia nampak apa? Uterus, ascites, uterus, bilateral, solid ovarian tumor. Okay? So this kind of appearance is classical for Gutenberg tumor. Kan? Even without registry, kita tengok macam ni, first thing kita kena make sure it is not the Gutenberg tumor. Gutenberg tumor basically is the metastatic tumor to the ovary. Ovary menjadi mangsa, kan? Daripada cancer from somewhere else. Kan? This case daripada breast. Kan? So even kalau we don't know the history, kalau kita tengok macam ni, first thing kita kena exclude the examine semua sekali, thyroid, breast, kan? Then usually we will refer to the surgical team for colonoscopy, OGDS to find the possible primary tumor before we conclude this is primary from the ovary. So this one, patient basically is the this patient had the presented with per vaginal bleeding. So biopsy apparently noted that biopsy from the cervix is mucinous adenocarcinoma. Mucinous adenocarcinoma, had history of CA colon before. Kan? So bila kita tengok dia punya examination, basically the cervix look normal, come here, and there is a mass protruding from the posterior fornix. So bila you do scan, you can see the uterus, and then the mass from the partly from the rectum go at the back and encroach the area of the cervix and posterior fornix. That's another example. Is the rather than not from the gynecological origin. So it is from the other from the rectum that can extend towards the gynae organ. So that's why the history is a prime important to physician. So this is another example. Simple cyst, spectrum.